Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the Aries October 2017 horoscope, and yes, it does apply and pertain to the Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Well, anyway, people, first thing is, well, you're going to have the Sun in Libra in October, from October 1st to the 23rd. And during this time, okay, the seventh house is what's going to be accentuated and highlighted for Aries. So this could be very well a need to shine in relationships. It could even be with dealing with open adversaries, perhaps with a lot of tact and diplomacy and reconciliation. Or it could be a lot of negotiation going on during this time for Aries, and a need perhaps to increase popularity and doing something maybe a little bit different for more independent, self-reliant Aries, doing things where maybe collaborative efforts with others. So now the Sun will be in Scorpio from October 23rd to the 31st, and during this period, of course, the house that's highlighted for Aries will be the 8th house. So this could be a need perhaps to shine and Aries, perhaps with transformation, perhaps by doing something through something Scorpio-like, or doing it with a lot of Scorpio-like fortitude and I should say inner fortitude and willpower. And it could also be some transformation connected perhaps with something connected with the astrology or the occult. Or through some perhaps even psychoanalysis. Those are things, of course, Scorpio related. Now, you're going to, what's another thing too to look at is that, okay, you're going to have a full moon in Aries on October 4th. And the full moon with Aries on October 4th, okay, the full moon being in Aries on that day, it's going to be, I mean, this is the first house, what is highlighted and accentuated for Aries. So there could be maybe you look at the full moon, it's often a culmination or it really of emotions, very powerful emotions, which are going to be expressed very outwardly. And it could be where maybe Aries is tired, maybe something connected with the appearance or the outlook on life, the physical body, and really lets it out in very strong, acrimonious, and angry type emotions. It can be maybe a contentious or combative situation maybe coming to an end for Aries, and maybe but it's going to be brought out very strong to the open because we are talking about the first house that's being highlighted and emphasized, of course. Now, the new moon in Libra is going to take place on October 19th, and the house that would be highlighted and emphasized for Aries, of course, is the 7th house. So this could be embarking on perhaps a new relationship. It could be an artistic endeavor. This could be something where a new relationship begins, and one which maybe has the promise maybe of some kind of a lot of compromise, reconciliation, and doing so maybe with somebody that might really show a lot of charm, diplomacy, and tact. This could be something where something new, Libra related, may be starting, and it could be done perhaps with others. It could be, as I stated before, like an artistic endeavor. It could be something musical. It could be something even in the legal field where it's done perhaps with somebody else, because the 7th house can be about others. It's about our open adversaries, our partnerships, but a significant other, but it can also be just about others, I believe, in general. So anyway, well, Mercury will be in Libra from October 1st through the 7th to the 17th of October. And the 7th house, okay, is what is highlighted and emphasized for Aries. So there could be a lot of communications connected with the significant other, using a lot of that Libra charm, that tact, that diplomacy. But at the same time, there might be some ambivalence and indecision connected with this, with matters, making decisions over matters connected with a significant other, even legal issues. Perhaps maybe things associated with documents as well. Also, Mercury will be in Scorpio from October 17th to the 31st of this month. And during that time, the 8th house is what will be emphasized and accentuated for Aries. So it could be a lot of this incisive communications, perhaps with somebody in an intimate relationship. It could be over shared resources. It could be really thinking about things very deeply, not in a superficial way, but very deep investigation over matters perhaps connected with wills, inheritances. It could be over issues connected with psychology, but really, it's really deep thinking often. And I mean, I would say deep thinking in this in 8th house matters, matters pertaining to the 8th house, and perhaps a lot of deep research with that. So anyway, well, Venus will be in Virgo from October 1st through the 14th, as far as October goes, through the 1st through the 14th. And Venus being in Virgo, of course, well, the 6th house is what will be highlighted and emphasized for Aries. So during this time, this could be showing perhaps a lot of love, enjoyment toward work-related things, doing things connected with details, with extrapolation of data, perhaps seeing the little things. It could be maybe even a joy of perhaps doing cleaning and matters with the 6th house. It could also be where if Aries is unattached and may find maybe somebody at work, but at the same, as far as maybe a fellow employee that they may pursue as a significant other, perhaps, but will do so perhaps with a lot of Virgo discretion and prudence. So also, well, Venus will be in Libra from the 14th through the 31st of October, as far as October goes, from the 14th through the 31st. And that will be the 7th house is what will be highlighted and emphasized during that time. So this could be a time, as far as that goes, Venus and Libra in the 7th house being emphasized and accentuated. Well, this could be really about maybe if Aries is unattached again, this could be really about finding that significant other, because you have Venus in one of the signs it's ruled, and then you have it in the 7th house. It could also be making peace and reconciliation with an open adversary or enemy if it hasn't been done by now. And Aries is very aggressive and assertive, so this is a little, the energy is a little bit different for Aries. It doesn't mean this won't be done maybe with a little Aries assertiveness and aggression, but at the same time it's going to be, it could be about seeking a peaceful resolution. It could be to a legal issue as well, and also showing strong love and fairness toward a significant other if attached. So anyway, well, Mars will be in Virgo from October, as far as October goes, from the 1st to the 22nd, and the 6th house is what will be highlighted for Aries. Now, this could be, there could be some acrimonious situations with people at work during this time. There could be really, you might get a lot of this arguments at work, and really in arguments, people being maybe more judgmental and critical, nitpicking, getting angry over very maybe minor things. If people aren't doing something as efficiently as you are, there may be apt to be more impatience connected with that. And it could also be some accidents at work, perhaps due to some kind of impatience or just because you're moving around with a lot of this Virgo nervous energy. Anyway, Mars will be in Libra as far as October goes, from the 22nd to the 31st. Now, this could be a lot of energy and vitality put into a significant other, maybe into combating open adversaries, open enemies. This could be done perhaps maybe in an indirect way, considering we're talking about Libra. It could be some passive aggressive manner, but it may be time where Aries, if it hasn't been done already, and maybe about taking the initiative and fighting these open enemies and standing up right now for yourself, if that may be the case. And also energy and a lot of activity perhaps into doing things for others, but it could also be more contentious situations with others in general, or open adversaries, and or perhaps even a significant other people, maybe in the legal field perhaps. Now, also Jupiter, as far as October goes, Jupiter will be in Libra from October 1st through the 10th to the 10th. And during this time, this last period of Libra before we see it go into Scorpio on the 10th, well, this could be a lot of, given that the 7th house is what's emphasized and accentuated for Aries, well, this could be a time where a lot of exuberance and enthusiasm might be going into things connected with legalities, with documents, and it could be perhaps luck connected with legalities, and it might be done by generating your own luck, perhaps through that Libra tact, charm, and diplomacy, and being fair-minded and equitable. I mean, these are things to look at as far as this goes. Now, Jupiter will be in Scorpio for that rest of that month. October, when you look at Jupiter in Scorpio, the 10th through to the 31st. Now, this could be a time, I mean, you look at this, and of course, the 8th house is what's emphasized and accentuated. This could be luck during this time, perhaps through matters connected, maybe with wills, with inheritances, others' resources. This could be done, and also there might be matters, I mean, Scorpio energy could be very investigative and getting to the bottom of things. Scorpio energy is about being enamored with mystery. So if there's something that you're not unsure of, maybe about a will, about some inheritance, this could be the time where you can generate your luck by digging deep into this and through really some extensive research and investigation, and or maybe somebody's death even you're trying to find, you're trying to get to the bottom of it, or something mysterious about maybe someone's death and you're just trying to get to the bottom of it. This could be that time perhaps when you may have better luck doing so. And also, and it could also be very enthusiastic, exuberant time, matters connected if you're into astrology, the occult, the supernatural, psychology, and perhaps even some kind of transformation maybe through that. Now, also Saturn will still be in Sagittarius, of course, for that for October 2017. The 9th house is what will be highlighted for Aries. There can be perhaps a lot of maybe some restrictions and limitations connected with higher education, maybe even perhaps in-laws if applicable, maybe through traveling there might be some difficulty. It might be that maybe an older person may influence or impact maybe your philosophical outlook during this time, your religious outlook. Saturn could be Sagittarius could be very sagacious and very about wisdom. So it could be about dealing with older, wiser people that help you maybe understand things connected with some kind of philosophy. Maybe something associated with religion, maybe even the law. Well, the next thing is Uranus will still be in Aries, of course, and Aries may be going through maybe be a little bit more innovative, more ingenious during this time. There could also be some unexpected or unpredictable outbursts of anger because of Uranus being in Aries, and of course being connected with Aries. And really it can be about strongly showing perhaps some pioneering and ingenious energy during this time for Aries. During the time it's still going to be, Uranus will still be in Aries. Now, Neptune will be in Pisces still, and of course, the 12th house is what's highlighted and emphasized during this time. So for Aries, it can be very strong, perhaps maybe some chaos in the private life. The private life may be somewhat chaotic and convoluted. I said be careful in some extreme cases, considering that Neptune is retrograde. It could be that some Aries, if they had some drug or alcohol addiction, they may be going back to it and can result in the self-undoing, given that the 12th house, 12th house is what's highlighted and accentuated during this time. And anyway, Pluto will still be in Capricorn, so of course the 10th house is what's highlighted and emphasized for Aries during this time. And there might be some strong transformation or major change, maybe in a career for Aries. In some cases, maybe it could be connected with the government or some kind of business for Aries during this time. There might be some tumult and upheaval connected with this as well, perhaps with one's career. And I mean, Pluto is also about death, so it couldn't be a figurative death or a termination of a career during this time. Some cases it could be the death of the father or some authority figure. Also, the North Node will still be in Leo, and the 5th house, of course, is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Aries. So it can be about putting yourself forward and putting in terms of creative endeavors, entertainment, perhaps getting recognition and applause and adulation for creative endeavors, for things connected with entertainment, and getting appreciation, accolades maybe in some way, maybe from children as well, if applicable, if you do have them. And the focus could be very strongly more on romance and relationships. Leo is also flamboyant energy. It doesn't mean you're necessarily going to go out on stage and try and be very flamboyant on stage. At some people, it may apply. But generally speaking, it's about really you're maybe demanding more recognition and more attention connected with 5th house matters such as love, romance, children, creativity. At the same time, be careful too, because the focus could still be on maybe toward extravagance, and the 5th house is about gambling and speculation, so be careful as far as that goes. Now, another thing too is that the Black Moon Lilith will still be in Sagittarius, and of course the 9th house is what is highlighted and emphasized during this time. So it could be where maybe there's an unveiling of some kind in a very loud, very voracious Sagittarius manner, connected with the grandchild, with an in-law if applicable, maybe a foreigner. It could, in some cases, this can be something nefarious that maybe you discover, and something connected with the 9th house. Perhaps it can be maybe through some kind of foreign travel. Maybe there's somebody that comes forward with some philosophy that you don't quite get. It's an unveiling that maybe in this that you did not really anticipate or expect. It might be some kind of what you might consider a warped philosophy even, and maybe this comes from somebody it could be some professor at a university or college, maybe even an in-law perhaps, or somebody associated with the 9th house in general. Now, also, another thing to look at is that Chiron will be in Pisces still, and of course the 12th house is what will be emphasized and accentuated for Aries. And this could be perhaps wounds. I mean, in some cases it can, in isolated cases, it can be connected with alcohol, with some drug addiction that could lead to the self-undoing, which could be tied in with seclusion and solitude. It could also be about maybe helping. I mean, Chiron is not just about wounds that we can endure, it's about how we can help others deal with theirs. So it might be a lot of maybe behind the scenes activity, the things that you're not necessarily getting maybe recognition, credit for, doing things with a lot of Pisces compassion and helping others deal with their wounds, maybe people that are less fortunate than you, such as the oppressed, the impoverished, and the homeless. But there can also be some suffering and wounds connected with maybe very strong isolation and seclusion, because we are talking about Pisces and the 12th house. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for the Aries October 2017 horoscope forecast. And stay tuned next time where I'll be talking about the Taurus October 2017 horoscope forecast. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person astrologically speaking based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.